Hello and welcome to this episode of the Word Contrasts series. Today we're contrasting two lovely vowels, R and OR. So the way that we'll work is we're going to have a slide where we focus on the difference between these two sounds. Then we'll have a few slides with example words. I will say both words and then leave a gap for you to repeat what you've heard. So we're using this listen and repeat method, which will give you listening practice, but also pronunciation practice. So let's get started. Thinking about those sounds then. As you can see from the images here, in both cases, the mouth is fairly open. With the R, you can see that the tongue is raised a little there at the back, but it's not too high. We want the sound to be able to flow out. R. With the OR, the tongue is kind of maybe a little bit lower depending on your mouth shape and like the tension in your tongue. You're going to have to experiment with this. But the lips are a little more rounded and sort of pushed forward, as you can see there. The lips look bigger almost because they're being pushed forward. So on the left we have R and on the right we have OR. So the main focus really is on how pushed forward your lips are, I would say, and experiment with where you're putting your tongue. Like with working with all of the vowels, I would say, it's worth playing around, having a go, changing your tongue position to see what works for you. Every mouth is individual, and so you're just going to have to play around to find where it is that you're going to have to put your tongue to get the right sound coming out. So let's have a look at some example word lists. So repeat after me nice and loud. Far, for. Car, core. Pa, paw. Jar, jaw. Ya, yaw. Great, so there are a couple of things that are worth noticing. On the right hand side we've got core and jaw, which both look like they end with a W, but that's actually managed by this OR vowel. So core, jaw, we don't want to have a W. That's not in there as a sound. It's the OR vowel. And hopefully you've also noticed that the way that these words on the right are written, in terms of the vowels that we use for spelling the words, there's a bit of variation there. With for, we've got the O. With core, we've got an A. And with paw, we have an OU. So, as I'm sure you found in many other examples, the link between English spelling and the pronunciation of the words is sometimes a little complex. And I think this is one of those sounds. If you look at the left-hand column, our R is in this selection of words always represented by the letter A. So that's a little easier. But on the right-hand side, we've got a bit of variation. So that's just worth noticing. So another set of example words then, repeat after me nice and loud. Bar, bore. Ma, more. Star, store. Scar, score. Spar, spore. So thinking back to patterns, what we can see on the left is that all of those words, when we write them down, end with the letter R. So we've got an AR ending, but we're not pronouncing that R in this instance when we're looking at the words in isolation. Scar, spar, it's the R vowel. If you were dealing with those words in the context of sentences, the R might activate. So I don't want to dwell on that too much here, but in an upcoming video I'm going to talk about the linking and intrusive R sounds. So if that's something that you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that you get a notification of when that video is available. That's on my upcoming list. The words on the right, hopefully you've noticed that we've got that letter E written at the end of each of those words, but we're not pronouncing that. Our final sound for all of those words is the OR vowel. So what you don't want to do is pop a little E on the end. No E sound at the end, it doesn't need to be there. So that's the little tip for this particular slide. So I hope you found that useful. If you did, go ahead and hit like, and as I said, subscribe to stay up to date with new videos. If you want to work with more word lists, then check out the playlist. I've contrasted lots of other sounds. Thanks for watching and have a lovely day.